Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Vince McSham with you here. This is the Nation Network, and we are picking up a little bit more of the Superstar Pro Wrestling game that we started yesterday. If you didn't check out yesterday's stream, you got time to do it. Just bounce back one episode right here. It's in the playlist. It's the number 1. This is number 2. And I've been doing a lot of work offline here, so I'll get you guys caught up with some of the stuff that I've been doing, and also how to, if you choose to get the game yourselves. And there are descriptions and links now in the description down below, and I'm excited to say that I spoke to the gentleman in charge of developing this thing, and the more I get into it, the more I realize how much effort he had to put in. And I'm really not even breaking the surface because I don't have the technical ability to do what he's done. I have a little bit of an understanding of some of it, but the more I play the game and the more I see how things like the manager card works with the game, and it's just, the guy knows his stuff. Anyway, he has agreed that he's going to be a guest here on the show when we do one of our upcoming episodes of Inside the Creator Studio. And it's not going to be for a couple weeks yet, and the reason for that is he is working right now on an update to the game. It's going to have a lot more fun. I don't know the details yet. He didn't really give them to me, but as he's ready to release the updated version, absolutely wants to come on here and talk about it. So we will have the creator here, and we will be walking through this current version of the game, and he can also tell us about what we have to look forward to when we're getting closer to that. So I'm very excited about the future of this game and here on the channel. So couple of things, and try and keep in mind, actually let me do something real quick before I bounce, is if I don't remember, Total Dominance Football League, how you doing? That's a mouthful. I gotta pop out the chat, because when you guys are watching this thing and you kind of see me on camera and then you see my desktop and all that, I only have one monitor, so when I'm looking at the desktop, that's literally all I see. I don't get to see the chat so much. So I have to remember to manually pop it out so that I can see it. Because yesterday I felt like I was missing a lot of conversation. I don't like that. All right, so I've got that popped over there. Then I need to take this and go there. And then last but not least, all right, you guys are going to see my screen now. And then let me... And I've got the chat up there. Okay, so we're in business. I went ahead and made a whole mess of tag teams. Jason Pruitt, what's up, buddy? And I do mean a whole mess of tag teams. So let's go through some of the how's you do's and things like that. You have your tag team editor, pretty self-explanatory. You click on that, and what I wasn't realizing yesterday, if you watch yesterday's stream or if you saw it, where I was trying to get the promotion to upload and it wasn't doing it, it was doing it. It was doing it in the background, so you have to kind of go down your toolbar, and eventually a second page is going to pop up here. And that happens for most things, where you just have to make sure you bring it to the front. And I didn't catch that initially, so it was working fine. It was me. Now, one thing I tried doing to save some time, and I'm not sure if this is the issue or not, but I took, let's say, Medusa Michelli's card and made some minor tweaks to it, and then made it a new card by starting out with all her sets, and used that for Deonna Purrazzo. Well, it worked in a one-on-one match, but when I tried to put her in a steel cage or chain match or anything else, it wouldn't play. So I'm pretty sure if I start out with a complete... Because I did try it also with Ace Austin, which was an original creation from scratch, and that works fine. So I think the from scratch part might have something to do with it. I don't know. All right, so when you go into your tag team editor box, you're just going to put the name of the team you're making. You have your entire roster here, depending how many you've downloaded or uploaded. You'll have all that here. And then you just, either one by one, you can click on it and add it. Or let's say I was going to have the Irwins. Yeah, I just saw that. Let's make one. Where'd he go? Just saw him. Billy Irwin. Or is it Bill Irwin? Maybe, there we go. Bill Irwin. So I've got Bill Irwin. He's in Superset 86. Chances are his brother's going to be there too. So I'm just going to get out of there real quick and go to 86. And that'll bring up the entire Superset cards. There's Bill Irwin. He's still there. And you see him grayed out a little bit. Maybe that shows up for you. That means he's in holding. I don't have to select him again. So I got Bill and... what the hell was the other one's name? John Wesley Thomas, Keith O'Toole. Welcome, everybody. We're going to address that in a moment, Keith. That's a great question. Hang tight, because I'm still not 100% sure on the answer, but I'm going to show you all that I've got going on. And when we do have, I believe his name is Joe, the guy who's in charge of creating this game, when he comes on in a few weeks, that's definitely a question I'm going to ask him. But I'll show you what I've got on the side. What did we just say? Bill Irwin. Did I not just have him there? There he is, Bill Irwin. The hell's the other Irwin brother's name? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, yeah, Scott, dumbass, of course. And it didn't... Oh, I know why. Never mind. So you can do it one at a time as well. I forgot to hold the control button down. So put your team name in there, the Irwin brothers, Scott and Bill Irwin. They're good to go, and then just hit save. And then you do have to close it out. You can't just go on to the next team. I thought you could, but you can't. So you have to close it out. And now I have another tag team. All right, so let's go over this. If a wrestler is a champion, how would you set up the title matches, and who would be the best challengers to go up against? It's literally booking 101. You decide. Like if it's a TV card, you might put them up against a jobber, like when Flair would go against Mulkey. And then again, if you're headlining an arena, then you're probably going to want Flair against Dusty. Ancient Clown in the house. See, that's a man who understands his game, man. Body slam that like button. As the Nature Boy said on many occasions, the rest of you can't be first, but you can be next. Do it. Do it. Drop the elbow, pile drive it. All right, so if we go into promotion, we can do a number of things here. We can add a new one, which I'm do I want to do that? Not right this minute. So we're going to open an existing one. So far, I've got Impact set up and the UWF. Let's go take a look at Impact. Following wrestlers. Files could not be found because the associated wrestler has been removed from your roster. Who did I remove? I don't know, but I guess we'll find out in a minute, won't we? So in a few seconds, this should pop back up here. We'll see. I hope if I just eliminated a wrestler, and I only like cut 2 loose so far for my entire, because I have a lot of duplicate and triplicates, but I didn't think I had one for Impact that I deleted. It can take like up to 30 seconds sometimes. I'm just getting a little like, wait a minute, what's going on? It would suck if it crashed my, who's gonna call it? Yeah, it's spinning, so it's loading. I think the more roster you have overall, in this case, the longer it takes to get things to run sometime. I mean, the game itself will run fine once you get the matches together. And we're going to actually set up an entire card so you can see how that works. And after you set up a card, you don't have to worry. You just play straight through it. Is it happening or not happening? I'm going to be kind of bummed. No, it's still spinning. John Wesley will not be outdone. Doesn't normally take this long, so let's give it another few seconds. Like I said, right here, normally you'll see a second page option floating around. It's a little disappointing. Come on, man. I mean, you would think if you deleted a wrestler from a roster, it wouldn't be that big. Oh, wait, there we go, finally. It took a minute, didn't it? All right, so here we have the roster I've put together so far. I might have cut Deanna loose because I know there's an issue. So let me go ahead and remove her anyway because I'm going to have to. There she goes. I have to redo her card from scratch. So what I'll do is I'll just take notes of what's on this card as it is now, and then I'll delete it from the overall roster. Jordan Grace, another one I made. Masha Slamovich. And Masha's the other one that might be an issue. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it. Those are the two that I was having go head-to-head that was, I don't want to say crashing the game. The game still worked. It just wouldn't play that match. So it might be something with that. So I'm going to end up rebuilding those cards, but from scratch rather than copy and paste. And see if that makes a difference, which I'm pretty sure it is. Because like I said, I've used Ace Austin in just about every match there is, and it worked fine. All right, so if we go here to our champion screen, you've got what I thought, and this is, going to your question, Keith. I thought that when I book Josh Alexander, it's going to recognize him in some shape or form as the champion. Well, again, if we go to our roster here, and you look at Josh Alexander, I'm going to zoom in, you're going to see him. There he is. You don't see anything mentioning that he's a champion. And when you go to book him in a match, again, doesn't show that he's a champion. So it's one of those deals where you have to know who your champions are, and it will retain the information here by you telling, who won the matches and things like that. Hold that thought just a moment. Girlfriend's under the weather. That's not good. So you can remove a title, you can add a title, you can edit a title, you can reorder them, and then you go to your title histories. You'll mention for that title, and you can pull them all up here as well. So if I want to look at the world title, for example, Josh Alexander, he won it. Now, this is because I put the information in, but it'll keep it there. So I'll have think of it as a notebook, because that's what you used to do with this game. When it was pencil and paper, you had notebooks, and this is literally what you did. You had a page for the championship titles, and you wrote them down, the date they won them, date they lost them. Same thing, only it's typed in. So it doesn't automatically do this part, but it does do a lot of other cool stuff that I'm real happy about. And we're going to look into some of that in just a second here. So I mentioned here, basically with the Impact stuff, I'm starting from today's real roster. So Moose took it at Rebellion on the 23rd. Boom, there it is. Now from here on in, whatever happens, I'll have to add to that manually. And the only title right now that is vacant is the Impact Tag Team Championship, and that's because I haven't gotten around yet to making the Good Brothers. They're in the game, I just haven't made the team. And you do have to actually make them as a team in order to have a tag team match. You can't just select two random wrestlers. So there's your promotions. So we've seen setting up tag teams, we've seen the promotions, and when it comes to setting them up, the promotion, well, we'll do one real quick. Save the promotion updates. That's a bad habit of mine, I forget. Fortunately, it doesn't let me forget. AEW, eventually I'll get around to. They really don't have much of their roster in the game. There's some, but not many, which means I'll have to make all those cards, which over time I'm sure I will, but not right this minute. And realistically, with this game, I was planning on doing something totally different. I know I've got the Impact in there, but Impact's kind of my sweet spot right now. But UWF is something I'm not doing anywhere else, and I kind of like the idea of that Mid-South thing. And I think it plays really well with this game, and I'm also going to do an NWA. So when it comes to this game here immediately, you're going to see a lot of UWF and NWA. I probably won't even do a lot of Impact on here. I might do some, but generally speaking, I already have that with 2K19 and 2K22, so don't expect to see a lot of Impact here. Having one-night tag team tournament to crown Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Well, probably not going to do that, but we are going to do the Crockett Cup, and it's going to be fabulous. Oh, and here's one of the other things that is cool as shit. So I had a tournament to crown the UWF champion, right? And if I go, where am I at? Pro Wrestling Superstar. And then Word. And close out of that. Oh, you guys are going to Jones for this. If you're stat nerds and stuff like that, you're going to love this shit. So you copy and paste whatever you want from whatever card. If there was one particularly great match or whatever. In this case, there were several that really stood out. And let me just give you guys a quick breakdown at the end of the whole thing. This might be a little tough for you guys to see. I'll try and blow it up a bit. So here is the final bracket. We'll blow it up a little bit more. For the UWF Championship, we had 16 entrants. The number 1 seed went against 16. So, and I don't know how it did the seeding, because that's not the way I entered them in brackets. Like, I just went straight down a list, but it wasn't Hacksaw and Eddie, for example. So I think the game actually takes in, and again, these are questions I want to ask this guy, but I think it actually filters a lot of the statistics, and it ranks them. And as you look at this list, I mean, do I say Eddie Gilbert's the 16th? No. And Jesse Barr's the 11th? Probably not. But it did do some sort of bracketing, because the number 1 and number 2 are about what I was planning on having. Number 2 is Steve Williams, Dr. Death. So anyway, taking a look at the tournament, we got Hacksaw Duggan going up against Eddie Gilbert in the first round, number 1 and again number 16. And by the way, the matches started at the bottom and worked their way up. So this was the last first round match. Ended up being a time limit draw. So number 1 is out right out the gate. Manny Fernandez got past Coco Beware and then cruised into the semifinals. Bam Bam Bigelow, his opponent, didn't have such an easy go thing. It was the battle of the Bam Bams. We had Bam Bam Bigelow against Gordy. Bigelow had managed to advance to have the honor of facing the one-man gang, who then he beat, and now he gets a fresh Manny Fernandez, who beat Coco Beware and took a nap. Still managed to get past Manny Fernandez to go to the finals. Give credit where credit is due. Steve Williams, now in the lower bracket, went up against Billy Jack Haynes. Williams goes on to win. Rick Steiner got past Kerry Von Erich. Then Williams and Steiner go to a draw, setting up a bye round. DiBiase, take a look at Teddy, beats Barry Windham. Savannah Jack and Jesse Barr draw, so DiBiase moves to the next round on a bye, gets another bye, makes it all the way to the finals on one match, and then beats a dead tired Bam Bam Bigelow to become the UWF champion. Now that part is kind of cool in itself, right? But that ain't nothing. I'll leave this big so you guys can see it easily. So now we've got the referee is chosen by the game, and the way you would play in the board game is you would roll dice if you wanted to. You could roll dice before the match starts, and almost every time it's going to be Honest Abe, which is basically just play the game as normal. I think if you roll a 10, 11, or 12, or a 1, 2, or 3, it'll give you a different referee option. So let's say you did 10, 11, or 12. That would be Fast Count Frank, which I would think is like a Danny Davis. Somebody's going to give you a quick count. And then if you did the 1, 2, or 3, you might get the slow count. And there was that old guy that back in the day was a referee for the WWF. I can't remember his name, but he had to like put his hand on his knee to get up off the mat after going down. He didn't even go all the way down for the count. He'd get down on one knee and slap the mat. So you got some old man who slow counts. But most of these matches are going to have Honest Abe. But from here, everything in the blue is pretty much what took place. And you can follow along. I got to make it a little bit smaller just so I can scroll it faster. And give me 1 second, because I got to keep on bumping this chat box up front. Prime time, welcome aboard, my friend. Michael Hayes was not in the tournament, but I did put the Fabulous Freebirds together, so we will be seeing him for sure. So Von Erich starts off with a leg lift. Steiner comes back to defend against the left leg lift, but unsuccessful. And it gives you the points, I believe. Yes, it gives you point totals. Doesn't give you the running score here. It does obviously in the game, but not here in the recap. But let's just skip ahead a little bit. You see a near submission here as Von Erich puts in the sleeper hold. Rick Steiner doesn't give up. Got a power slam by Steiner. Another leg lift. I'm assuming it's a knee lift. I don't know. I'm going to go in and tweak that out a little bit. It reads awkward. Atomic knee drop by Steiner. Got a running knee drop by Kerry Von Erich. 10 points against 8 points. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Another leg lift. Steiner absorbs the punishment. Von Erich attempts a pin. He gets one, and Steiner kicks out. Steiner scores 8 points off of the elbow drop. Von Erich attempts to defend. An unsuccessful attempt. Steiner goes for the elbow once again. Von Erich comes back with some overhead rights. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. We're at the 17, 18-minute mark, and this is where you know things are getting hairy. Von Erich with the chin lock. Steiner executes the Steiner line, goes, and Steiner line puts Von Erich down, attempts the pin. 1, 2, 3. And Steiner gets the win. Next round up, we had the match with Steve Williams against Billy Jack Haynes. Another one that was really good. Williams throws him out of the ring, gets the count up to 6, but he manages to get back in. Williams throwing the right hand. Blocked. Williams going for the armbar. Billy Jack Haynes with the Tin Soldier Suplex. These names that they give some of these matches are a little bit hilarious. You gotta remember it was the 80s. Another armbar, spinning back kick. This is a great match because it went back and forth. I wish I actually had the running score sheet because that would tell an even better story here. We got Williams with the scoop power slam. Billy Jack Haynes with the forearm smash. Back and forth these guys are going. Billy Jack Haynes with the body press. And Billy Jack somehow gets tossed outside the ring. Count of 5. He beats the count back in. Got a gut wrench power bomb by Steve Williams. The Portland Cradle versus the Oklahoma Stampede. These two guys are going neck and neck throughout this match. We're at the 15-minute mark. Williams executes the Sooner leg lock. And Billy Jack Haynes submits. Now look at us. The next match we have got Fast Count Frank, which means he's going to add 1 to your pin attempts. And what that means, if you're playing the board game, when you go for a pin attempt, based on how many points you have at that moment, it has a column, and it'll tell you that you need to get a successful pin. You have to roll, let's say you have 80 points. You might have to roll a 2, 3, or 4. Now, statistically, not necessarily going to happen. And if you don't get that, there is a point deduction for attempting it and failing. As you move into higher points, that deduction becomes less, or sometimes you actually gain points even if you don't get the pin. But that's not until your points are up in the 120, 130 bracket. So anytime you attempt a pin earlier on, you're rolling the dice, as the game would be. So in this case, Frank is going to add 1. So if you needed to get, let's say you had a roll of 5, Frank would give you that point and might be enough to give you that count that you wouldn't have had otherwise. So we got Terry Taylor going up against the one-man gang. And I believe, depending which round this one took place in, I didn't put all of them here. Eddie Gilbert may not have been in one-man gang's corner yet. He is eventually. Terry Taylor early on with the sunset flip gets 1. He gets 2, and he almost got 3. Skip ahead here a little bit, and there's another 2 count. Flying 5-arm, enough to get the 2. We're at 11 minutes and going. One-man gang going for the 747 splash. Attempts the pin, gets 1, 2, and Taylor kicks out. Got a hammerlock versus the headbutt. Drop kick. Oh, one-man gang coming up with the chains. Another headbutt by the gang. Pile driver. Taylor going for that sunset flip. Gets 0 points. That means he tried for the pin and failed. Or in this case, one-man gang's defense gave him the 4-point advantage. It's a 4-0. Kick to the head by the gang. Terry Taylor attempts to defend against the kick. Not able to. One-man gang with a flying elbow drop. 11 points. 1, 2, 3. Terry Taylor gets pinned by the one-man gang. But again, he had fast count Frank. So would he have necessarily had that win? Maybe not. But he got that quick count. Terry Taylor got screwed. One-man gang with a flying elbow drop. Then we have Gordy against Bam Bam Bigelow. This was a good match. Back and forth, back and forth. And how late did it go in the match? 12th minute, 15th minute, 17th minute. And then Terry Gordy with the big suplex. Bam Bam with a suplex. Goes for the cover, gets 1, 2, 3s. And then we had Fernandez and Coco Beware. Outside the ring, got counted out. So anyway, it'll keep as much of this stuff as you want. Copy and paste. It's all there. If you have some matches that you really like the way, look at this one, Eddie Gilbert. Let's see if I have the one where Eddie was the manager. Because there's some pretty cool stuff that you can do with managers as well. Well, that'll be for another time. Let me show you one more thing, and then we'll get into an actual card. Billy Jack Haynes witnessed a cop killing some kids. Well, back then that was a thing. Now it's just Monday. Hadn't heard that story, though. Tom Hood. As the thumbnail says, buddy, Superstar Pro Wrestling game. This was originally an old board game in the 80s. If you ever picked up a copy of a wrestling magazine in 85, 86, I assure you the ad for the board game was there. And a gentleman has taken all the logic behind the game and made a digital version of it. If you want to take a closer look at it, all the descriptions and links are in the description box below. So feel free to take a look at that. It's only a $10 purchase. Jerry Lawler's name on the contract to wrestle for the AWA World Championship. I'll probably end up doing an AWA as well. I did put together Road Warriors and stuff like that just in case. I remember playing the game with my friends back in the 80s. And this may very well be it, Tom. Yeah, with dice. That's it. Yep, Battle Royals. Exactly. Yeah, this is it. Almost definite. If it was wrestling, I don't know of any other one out there. And there were a few different versions of it, but it was the same company. Exactly, Jason. This game gives you a lot of that excitement. It does a build. And again, if you just kind of rush through it by rolling dice, getting point totals and stuff like that, it's not so fun. But if you take some time, you know, back in the day when I was playing this game with the board, I would even, you know, give time for the entrances in my head. You know, I would see them coming down to the ring. And then as the matches would go on, I wouldn't just like roll and count points and stuff like that. I'm looking at the moves and how would this work out. You know, somebody might, you know, take the first move even though they're the second wrestler or they're the lower point total so far as their priority. But since it's not a pinning combination or anything like that, it would tell a better story if this move happened first and then we can go to this one. I just really mapped out this in my head. And one of the things I'm thinking about doing with this is an actual card where you guys won't see any of this stuff. And I'll do my little voice effects on the machine over here, and we'll make it sound like an old 1950s radio broadcast. And I just want to try that at least once and just see what kind of feedback, because I can paint a really good picture based on this game. But if you're seeing the rolls and the cards and all that, it's a little bit different. You know, it wouldn't work the same. Yeah, exactly, Tom. I mean, back in the good old days, we all had computers, and it was called your brain, and they worked much better than 2K22. That's for damn sure. With this game, I never had those issues. Okay, we are going to go to... Oops, excuse me. That's twice. Open card editor. So we are going to get and make a new card. We'll say it's a house show. The Mid-South Coliseum, 8 p.m. on the 15th. If I want to, I could make up fictitious states as well. I could put this back in 85. And now we start adding our matches. They'll play in opposite order, so you want to book your main event first and then start going down from there. And like the other time, it's going to take a second or two for this thing to load up. There you go, Ancient Clown. Well, that's the idea anyway. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be next week sometime. I want to work out a few more little kinks in this thing and set up a decent card, and then we'll do that. All right, so in this case, I was wondering if it had the promotion, but I guess it doesn't. Okay. It's only the second time I've set up a card, so I didn't catch that the first time around. All right, so that means we're going to have to, let's see, Ted DiBiase is a champion. So I'm going to do is go to UWF right off the bat, and that'll help save me a lot of time. So I've got Ted DiBiase, and I'm going to put him over here. I'm not going to give him a manager as of yet. And we're going to give Bam Bam a fair chance now after he went through... Oh, he's not in there? Excuse me. And then I have multiple Bam Bams. Most of them will be about the same. But what I can tell you, let me see if I'm able to do it this way. Yeah, I am. You open up the card, like this one has the top rope headbutt. Most of them have that. And I know that was his number one go-to, but a nuclear splash, that's another. See, I kind of like the greetings from Asbury Park myself. So there is a difference, even though you have multiples. And also, if you look at their cards, like the offenses and defenses, they're probably going to be a little bit different, too. I didn't check all that out, but what's this guy got? Top rope headbutt. For UWF, I guess top rope was probably his thing, right? So we'll go with this Super 90, Superset from 90. Which is, I think, the same one that I used in the tournament. And we're going to add that there. And it's important that you remember this part now because it's a pain in the ass if you don't. If you don't click a box, then you are playing the entire match and every roll of the dice. That can get a little monotonous. So I'm going to have Bam Bam controlled by the computer. And then I only have to worry about DiBiase's half. I assure you, this is not like 2K. I mean, normally if you decide you're going to play one of the wrestlers, you have control and you're going to decide whether he wins or loses. In this game, no, it's the luck of the draw at the end of the day. There's statistics involved, but you can be doing everything that makes sense, and Bam Bam rolls a pin attempt, and there you go. All right, but as you see, there's no title, though. No title showing. And I think we can edit. I might have missed something here, so let's go back and edit. That WrestleMania game was horrible, wasn't it? You had no ring ropes on the hard cam side. And the most cheesy music. Dookie! What's up, buddy? Yeah, it is. Like I said, this is a throwback game, and me and some friends of mine really spent way too much time on this thing. Match description. I missed it. Okay. So you can write it up in there what it is, and then we'll save that. There you go. UWF Heavyweight Championship, 30-minute time limit. That's your main event. We'll add another one in here. We had a tag team match the other day, ended in a time limit draw. We're going to fix that. Yeah, that's right. Punch and kick. That was the game. We have come so far that we're right back to board games. I haven't even fired up the PS4 in 2 days because of this game. So, what does that tell you? 2K. Fix your shit. Is it happening? Okay. There it goes. All right, so got steel cage match. That'll decide who the number one contenders are going to be. All right. Go to tag team. Now, I've not tried doing a tag team cage match with this digital, so we'll see how it handles. So we had the Blade Runners was one team. We'll add them over here. And just by clicking on the Blade Runners, it automatically has Rock and Sting. No, I'm going to keep that in mind. And then they went up against Dream Machine. Jack Victory and John Tatum. And that will be computer controlled. No time limit. Steel cage. And the strategy pin chart. I should have done that on the other match. This is going to show you a lot more about what you want to be looking at, what you want to be thinking about when you go for pin attempts. Yesterday with stream, it just said you had like an 8% chance. This breaks it down where it shows you what you have on the line that you will lose if you don't get the pinfall, how many points. These were the days indeed. All right, I think that's everything I need for that. No count out, no time limit. Steel cage for number 1 contenders. Boom. Then we'll do one more. We'll put the one-man gang up against Dr. Death Steve Williams, and we'll have Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert in his corner. So you guys can see what happens if managers get involved. Yeah, I mean, this thing really has a legit vibe to pro wrestling matches, because how many times we watch false finishes and things like that? Anything can happen. All right. I'm going to go without stipulations only because I want Eddie Gilbert involved and I don't want anything to distract from that. I'm going to again add the strategy pin chart so I can see more information. It's going to be a singles match. I'm going to take the one-man gang. And we'll take the Superset 87 version. And we will add here. Computer. And the manager. Oh, that's what I was going to show you guys earlier. I made a few of these. Show you how to make them and the stats that go into them, because when you realize that, it's just this guy's done a lot of work. He really has. $10 is a steal. One-man gang goes over there, and then we want Dr. Death. Oops. We'll take the UWF version with the Stampede. There you go. Add him there. Gang is on the computer. He's got Eddie Gilbert. Let me double check, make sure that. Okay. All right, we're going to say that's the card right there. So come over here. We're going to load it. Let me save it to be safe. And the good thing about this is if you want to replay that same card, you can. Load card. That's it. That's it. You can also move the matches around. I guess that wasn't what I wanted. Let's go this way. Run. There we go. Run card. going on here? Try it again. Oh, run, dumbass. Had that same problem yesterday. But once you hit run on the first one, I think it just goes straight through after that. Here we go. Let me move this out of the way so you guys can see the running scoreboard up here as well. All right, things underway. I am controlling Steve Williams as much as I can. By the way, in tag team matches, well, we'll see that in a little bit later, but it's in a cage, so I don't know if I'll have the same. Yeah, I think it'll still work. There's a little button down here to tag in and out on, which is pretty cool. All right, one-man gang roll to defense. Offense is on Dr. Death. Goes for the power bomb, and he hits it. Uncontested. Takes a 10-0 lead on the scoreboard. One-man gang with a boot to the head. Dr. Death Steve Williams throws him out of the ring.
1, 2.
Can he get back
3,
in?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ooh, that was close. One-man gang just barely beating it. Now, if the one-man gang rolls this move here, where it says ram into buckle and has that XX, that's when Eddie Gilbert comes into play. Also, if the one-man gang rolls, I want to say 3 offenses in a row, because he's computer-controlled in this case, then he would also be able to use Eddie Gilbert. I'm trying to recall. There's a set of circumstances where Steve Williams can decide, hey, I've had enough of Eddie Gilbert, and he can take a shot at him, and if he doesn't make it, it ends up hurting him in points. Yeah, defense here for Dr. Death. 2 points for attempting to stop it. Both men are on offense. One-man gang has him up by the throat. Dr. Death Steve Williams comes out of that and applies the arm bar on the one-man gang. And again, both on offense. One-man gang with a blaster? What the hell is that? Are you going to Star Wars? Oh, both of these guys have pin attempt moves. Now the question is, do they want to run the risk? Military press slam for Steve Williams. That's a pin attempt. And the blaster by the one-man gang. The fuck is that? Gang is on defense. Dr. Death is on offense. It's a close match on points. Steve Williams is eligible because he's done 3 offenses, I believe. Oh, no, he's got the XX move to retaliate against Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. If the retaliation fails, he will lose any points scored for the offensive move. So basically, do I want to take a chance on giving up 8 points to take Eddie Gilbert out? I say we give it a shot. Attempts to retaliate against Hot Stuff, and he failed. So instead of the 8 or 9 points, we lost those points and get a 0. Big goose egg, and Eddie Gilbert still at ringside. One-man gang once again with a throat lift.
1.
And he's thrown
2,
out of the ring again by
3,
Dr. Death Steve Williams.
4, 5, 6, 7.
He might not make it back in time.
9, 10.
He's out of there. Dr. Death Steve Williams gets the win. So all the stuff is filled out. It's actually going to keep record of this stuff. So we're going to go into that at the end. You're going to see what their win-loss records are. It's really, really good stuff. I'm going to select it under UWF because I might end up having them in the NWA later on, right? And it automatically moves up to the next match, which is the return match inside of a steel cage. The Blade Runners against Jack Victory and John Tatum. That match only went 6.5 minutes. But then again, it was a count out. All right, so in order to make tags, oh, look at it, even has a little steel cage here in this area. Shows you it's a cage match. Texas Death Match has a Texas Death logo. If it's a chain match, you actually hear this little, it's a crappy little sound effect, but it's kind of cool. If you're using a chain on somebody, it makes this little sound effect. In order to make a tag, you have to have won the round by at least 5 points, I think. Pretty sure that's the rule. So you won't always see the tag option lit up. Like right now, I can't make a tag. All right, he's on offense. I'm on defense. If either of us rolls a move with the XX, that's going to put us on the steel cage chart, and that's when you start seeing the steel cage get involved in the match. Reverses it. Went to stomp on my head, and I said, no, no, no. And now I come back with some wild punches, and he scores a B, which is 0. Now, if I want to make the tag because I won the round, I can tag out. So let's tag out. Do you want Blade Runner Sting? Oh, hell yeah, I do. And again, if either of us rolls the one with the TT, that'll be an attempt at a double team. Down here, the tag team, I misrepresented this yesterday because it's been so many years. What this is for is, let's say Sting is trying to pin Jack Victory. I don't know what his tag team partner is, but let's say it's the same. Let's say it's a 2-5 tag team. If I have the attempt to pin Jack Victory and I score a high enough roll to pin Jack Victory, it ain't over yet. Because Jack Victory's partner then rolls to see if he makes the save or not. And that's what that number right there, that 2-5 rating is. Power slam into the cage. Now, well, he power slammed him, but you heard the sound effects. So then we go over here to see what actually happened. Didn't say. Grinded his face into the steel cage, which left him blinded. Why did I get 0 points for it, though? Jack Victory should have got 0 points, right? I got screwed. I have no idea why I got 0 points. Oh, we got a sleeper hold. Oh, he reversed. Well, it's not a reverse. It's a 4-0, though. Neutralized, which means he dropped down and jaw-jacked him. Throwing through the ropes, DQ gets you 0 in a steel cage in the regular game. I presume it does the same here. Doesn't say for sure. In the board game, it's 0 points because you can't throw somebody to the floor when there's a steel cage. Both are on defense. Going to roll again. That's another big difference, too. With the board game, if everyone's on defense, you roll it again until somebody's on offense. With this game, because it's in the computer, it won't do it that way. It'll roll again, but you've just lost a minute on your time limit. So getting to a 30-minute time limit is going to be a lot easier here because you have multiple rolls where both guys are hitting defense and you have to move on. Whereas with the board game, you don't move from that minute mark until somebody's on offense. Sting goes offense against Jacko Victory's defense. Using the cage once again. He reverses. Sting tries for the power slam onto the cage, but it was reversed. Jacko Victory comes off with a clothesline to Sting. What are the point totals right here? That can't be right. Jeez. This far into a steel cage match, everybody's got like 6 points. Victory's on defense. Sting going to the ropes. Body block. Could have made a tag there. I should have made a tag there. Oh, double team. Never mind that I said it. All right, let's take a look here. Double teaming for 2 rounds. So for 2 rounds, they're going to have a 2-on-1 advantage. Rock, which is otherwise known as Ultimate Warrior, smashing him into the turnbuckle for 9 points. Sting, belly to belly pile driver. I will call it a tombstone. Now, with all that double teaming, and you can see over here on your right side, the double team rounds, they've got 2 of those already to 0. And only a 10-point lead, which is a little bit unusual when you have that much of an advantage. Victory drops the elbow, and we're back to offenses and defenses. So far, that's a double D. Jacko Victory, what's he going to do here? Stomping on the head. And Sting with some wild punches. And again, because he didn't win the round, I can't tag out yet. Uh-oh, double team coming up for Victory. Jack Victory executes. He will use brass knuckles. Draws blood. Stinger's been busted open. Tatum comes in now. Forearm smashes. By the way, how many rounds did they get? Just 1 round double team. Sting with that pile driver again, and this time we're going to tag him out. I think. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to tag it in there. And that brings the Rock back in. Not that Rock. Drop kick worth 5 points, which is nothing. Make it 3 points after the 2 on defense. Everyone's on offense. Clothesline by Jack Victory. Ropes. Oh, nothing happens on the ropes. That's a wasted round. Right now, the Blade Runners are down on the scoreboard as well. Raking the eyes is John Tatum. Drop kick by the Rock. Some wild punches. Make that tag one more time. I don't know if Sting had enough time to recuperate. Not looking good. Sleeper hold. Oh, and Tatum did not submit. Everyone's on D. There is no time limit on this one, ladies and gentlemen. It will go till there's a winner. Clothesline by Victory. Military press slam by Sting. Yeah, this is long before the Scorpion. Pile driver. Not trying for the pin attempt, really. Well, we're still in that lower bracket. Sting's in trouble. Going for the cover off the victory plex. Got a 2. John Tatum with a flying axe handle to the head. That's got to be it. 1, 2, and he got him. So as we look back, it tells you right here, the one-man gang was counted out after Steve Williams executed a throw out of ring, 7-minute mark. John Tatum pinned Blade Runner Sting, who was a bloody mess, by the way, after the flying axe handle at 23 minutes. And that leads us to our championship title match. We have Honest Abe as the referee. Ted DiBiase his first official title defense. Bigelow's had 24 hours to recuperate. DiBiase starting things off with a backbreaker. Bigelow with a suplex. Back and forth match early on. Oh, Bigelow wasting no time. He's going up for the headbutt. He's going for it. And a 1 count. It would have been huge upset to score one that quickly. So I rolled a 2, which not going to happen. You would have needed like a 12. 11 or 12 minimum. Ted DiBiase using that loaded glove. Is he going to go for the cover? He does. 2. Oh, Bam Bam Bigelow just barely kicking out of that. And now Bam Bam Bigelow landing with the body splash. Big 10-point move right there. He'll collect 8 of them after the defensive attempt. Bigelow comes up with a big drop kick. The big man able to do things that a big man shouldn't do. Everyone's on defense in this one. DiBiase getting the advantage, dropping the fist right to the forehead. Champion is behind on points. Bigelow connecting with that big forearm smash. Rear chin lock by the champion. Trying to stay within range. Another fist drop. Sends him to the ropes, back out front. Drops his head too low. Oh, knee lift by Bam Bam Bigelow. Bigelow with a big forearm smash across the back. DiBiase dropping another fist. But he needs to do something. He's down big on the scoreboard. Uh-oh. Greetings from Asbury Park. Bigelow going for the cover. Gets 2. I just remembered Bigelow's being played by the computer. Almost had a new champion. Power slam by DiBiase. How many total points you got? 82. We're going for it. Oh, a 2 count. Dadgummit. Lost all my points. Rear chin lock. Man, we've made it a game. Look at this. Score is almost identical now, and that's given up a round. Vertical suplex by the champion. Big smash by Bam Bam Bigelow. Uh-oh. Greetings from Asbury Park. Bigelow might be the new champion. He kicked out. DiBiase not giving it up. 10 minutes remaining. 10 minutes in the time limit. Rear chin lock against a suplex. DiBiase sending him to the ropes. Comes back out front with that flying elbow. Nope, does not connect. Bigelow able to throw him off. Bigelow takes a 4-0 round. DiBiase now dropping that fist right between the eyes. Right now we're in no man's land. We're in that 125 to 135 marker, and it's a lot easier to score pinfalls now. Power slam off the ropes. Why did I not get my pinfall out of that? Oh, man. Bigelow coming off the top rope with the headbutt. DiBiase go for the pin. 2. Oh, my God, he didn't get it. With 166 points, that's as good as it gets. Basically, if you get like a 1 through a 7 or something like that, you should have a pin. Or a 2 through a 7. Submission hold is on. Figure 4 leg lock. And damn it, Bigelow won't give it up. The body splash. Bigelow reversing. Not sure why he's not going for a pinfall attempt. I think he had enough points.
1, 2, 3.
DiBiase outside
4,
the ring.
5.
Oh, saved by the bell. He will retain the championship title. This one goes down as a 30-minute draw, ladies and gentlemen. So I have a question. Are you not entertained? 30-minute draw time limit. That was a damn good match. That's one of those ones where I'd almost copy and paste that and save it. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's all right. Tremendous back and forth action. All's good in the hood. So now, if we go to promotion, I believe. Let's see. DiBiase and Bigelow have had a lot of matches because they did well in the tournament, and I probably used them in a couple of one-offs just messing around with this game. Anybody else getting ready to watch Better Call Saul? This is the series finale. and we're just a few minutes away. I'm very excited about it. I was a big Breaking Bad fan, so. Yeah, being saved by this is what I'm telling you with this game, man. Sometimes they kind of suck, but man, you get a lot of those matches like with the one we just had there. All right, what's going on here? Is still loading up? Yeah, it's still loading. It takes a minute. I think once I clean up the roster and get rid of all the ones, A, that I'm never going to use, and B, that are just quadruplicates. All right. So we have our roster here. Champions. Title history. I thought there was another option. I wanted to see the win-loss record. I know I can do that. I just thought that was where I was going to see it. Let me see, though. Open. Results database must be it. Yeah, there you go. So you can see your singles win and loss, your tag team win and loss, 6-man win or loss, and rankings. I didn't even mess with that yet. Let's go first with the win-loss records, and then we'll go to rankings afterwards. That's a bonus I wasn't counting on. By the way, the wrestlers in repository is basically just all the wrestlers that you have options on choosing from. Select win-loss records to view. Again, this part's a little disappointing. I would hope it would only bring up the card. Oh, it is. Never mind. It is only the ones that are in here. I've got to take Dusty out and stuff like that. I might leave him in. What the hell? I don't know why AJ Styles is in this. No idea. But in this case, let's just take a look at Bam Bam, for example. And we could do multiples at the same time. But he's got 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. He's got a 60% win. Or a 60% win percentage. And here's his, record on the 14th. He had the tournament he was in, so he got the win over Bam Bam Terry Gordy, the win over the one-man gang, the win over Fernandez. But he's had now 2 losses and a draw to Ted DiBiase. Shows you how he won or lost over here. Let's go back here again. So how cool is all this stat stuff, man? You want to book a promotion and you can see a guy who's on a win streak, a losing streak, his win-loss percentage. But like I said, it does take it a little minute to get fired up. So let's go with Hacksaw. We just saw Bam Bam, so we'll let that one sit. What the hell? Billy Jack. Who else has had some matches? Eddie's had some matches. Duggan's had some matches. Well, I definitely got to clean this up. It's got some weird names in here. Gang, Steve Williams, Ted DiBiase, Gordy and Taylor. What the hell? And now you can see multiples at one time. So Duggan is 0-1. He lost to Eddie Gilbert. It was a draw, so he didn't really lose. Oh, he's 0-0-1. Sorry. Billy Jack Haynes, however, is 0-1. He lost to Steve Dr. Death Williams. Submission to the Sooner leg lock. Another person with a losing record, Eddie Gilbert. Well, take it back. Wasn't a losing. He had a draw. Hacksaw Jimmy Duggan. 1 win, 1 draw. Has not been defeated. That's something to look at, 100%. Had the spinning body slam for the win. Win-loss record for the one-man gang. He's done it all, man. He's a 1-win, 1-loss, 1-draw at 50%. Rick Steiner's 1 win, no losses, and a draw. Dr. Death Steve Williams, 100%, man. 2 wins, no losses, and a draw. And, of course, our champion, Ted DiBiase, is unbeaten at 3 wins, 0 losses, and a draw. Use that loaded glove a lot. Terry Bam Bam Gordy picks up a loss during the tournament to Bam Bam Bigelow. And Terry Taylor also picking up a loss against the one-man gang. All right, here's what I want to see now. I have not looked at this yet. Look at these rankings. You want to make your card up, man? All you do is go to your top 10. And there you have them. I've just got to clean up the rest of this roster and get some of these people out of here that don't belong. Like Moose. How the hell did Moose end up in that roster? I do not know. I simply do not know. How cool is this? All right, last thing I want to show you here tonight. If we go to open a manager. Give me a manager, okay? We've got Albano, we've got Ellering, we got J.J. Dillon. I did Gary Hart. Just give me a manager. From the 80s, preferably. All right, Jimmy. How about Jimmy Hart? Let me see if you guys had one up there. I don't think I've done Jimmy Hart yet, and that actually wouldn't be a bad one. Was Breaking Bad not the best friggin' show of all time? I love that fucking show. And Better Call Saul, not the same. It's not as good, but nothing could be. But it's still good, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they wrap this up in just a little bit. Normally, I would watch it tomorrow without commercials and fast forward, but today I'm sitting through commercials. Hence, I cannot take the chance of somebody spoiling. All right, so we got Jimmy Hart, if you wanted to put the Mouth of the South in there. Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart. There you go. All right, let's look into this because you're going to realize as we fill this out just how much this guy has done to make all this logic work with its... Damn, Bobby. And we might do another one, too. I'll do a Bobby Heenan because I haven't got him yet either. So we'll do both of them. Let me go full screen on this just to hopefully make it easier. So your retaliation range, if your enemy rolls a move that has that double X move, then they have the option of going after the manager. If they're successful, then the manager is incapacitated for 8 rounds or 8 minutes, which means that when his protege would have been able to use him, he doesn't get the benefit of his services. In the game, I think it actually hurt his protege. Like if he rolled a double X move and his manager was knocked out for 8 rounds, I feel like there was a point reduction or something. I'd have to go through the book again. If the foe rolls within the range a second and separate time, the manager runs back to the dressing room until the match is over. If the foe doesn't roll within the retaliation range, they get 0 points. When a wrestler's manager is unavailable, all ropes and XX offensive moves count for 0 points. That's what it was, yes. So that's a lot of logic that this guy tied into this game. As I'm reading all this going, okay, I'm out. There were some parts of this I said, I could probably build that. I could probably build that. And then we got to this, and I'm like, fuck, I'm out. I'm tapping. So that's a lot right there. So Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart, if he's bugging you and you want to take a shot at him, the worst case scenario is you're going to walk away with 0 points on the round, which depending what the score is, that might be a bigger deal or not. But if you're successful and you drop the little pipsqueak a minimum of 8 rounds. If his protege rolls the ropes or a move with the XX on it, he's getting skunked. And that could be a big offensive advantage for you. So, calculated risk. So, in this case, Jimmy the Mouth of the South Heart, in order to knock him on his ass, you have to roll between a 2. I don't know. Jimmy got knocked on his ass a lot. 2 and a 6. That might be high, but we'll give it a chance. All right. Now, in the meantime, got to come up with some Jimmy the Mouth of the South Heart stuff. That's what I wanted. All right, he's going to throw in the megaphone. We've got options here. What is this, the third one? We're going to go with that as a disqualification. So it'll be a disqualification if the referee sees it. And if you roll between a 7 and a 12, he gets DQ'd. This time we are going to whack him with the megaphone. This is going to be a pin attempt. Or, yeah, we're going to go straight pin attempt on this one. Give him 9 points. That's a pretty painful hit. So again, if the protege of Jimmy Hart, let's say it's Greg Valentine, and Valentine rolls an offensive move, drops the elbow, and it has the XX move, then he's going to roll on his manager card. So if he rolls a 1, Jimmy Hart whacks the guy with a megaphone. It's an additional 9 points to whatever Valentine rolled, I believe. And it's an automatic pin attempt. So referee didn't see what happened, obviously, in that case. And that's how you get a cheap victory. Here we're going to have him distract the foe, and that is going to just be a point addition. Give him 8 for that. Blind foe with powder. Now this is going to be a modifier. So he gets blinded and he's going to be on defense for 2 rounds while he tries to get his vision back. So again, having a manager could help. It could hurt. You don't know. All right, going to place his protege's foot on the bottom rope to avoid a pin attempt. And we're just going to give him 5 points. It's like bare minimum. And let's see, what else? Distract foe, we already got up there. Yeah, I know. Grab his ankle as he's coming off the ropes. And again, that's not a super Powerful maneuver. All right, now we go to our interference range. Again, if the computer is controlling the wrestler and he has a manager, after 3 offensives in a row, then he can determine whether or not he's going to use his manager to get involved in the match. And to do that, he has to roll between a certain number, obviously. And this is only used if the wrestler's under a CPU control. So if you're controlling both wrestlers, then you have complete decision-making on this. But in this case, the computer would have to go between a 3 and a 7 because Jimmy gets involved a lot. His accomplishments: he survived a lot of big guys trying to squash him. And then set name. Just make one up and put WWF in this case. Then you come over here, you save the manager as Jimmy Hart. All right, I don't think we had a Bobby Heenan yet. No, we don't. But we're about to. Shrink that down. And we'll go and build one more here. Manager, editor, there you go. Hit with the megaphone. He jumped on the apron. Well, that's where it says distracted foe. He's distracting the foe by jumping up on the apron. Again, the game always gave you very brief descriptions, so it has to fit within a certain number of characters on that little line. That's where your memory or your imagination takes over, and you got to realize distracts the foe. Jimmy Hart, you're right, jumps up on the apron a lot. So when I do the play-by-play next week or so, I'll be filling in all those blanks. Ankle biter. Nice. Bobby the Brain Heenan. All right. Bobby took a hit. Six through 9. I don't know. Do I want to do that? It's only 4 numbers, but there's so many combinations to come up with 6 through 9. I feel like that would be too obvious. Let's tweak that a little bit. We'll go 8 through 11, I think. I might as well go 12 because that's a low running number. All right, Bobby the Brain. What do we got going on with Bobby? Throw me some stuff out here, guys. Obviously, he's going to distract the referee. Let's go with that. And while he's distracting the referee, of course, bad things are happening. We're going to go with points only on that, though. I'm not going to give him a pin, but we will give him 10 points. It's a big distraction. Let's see. Bobby the Brain Heenan. What else did he got going on there? Didn't he used to use the roll of coins a lot? Handed in an international object. I loved when they said that. Look at this idiot, doesn't know what foreign is. He's got an international object in his hand. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, brass knucks? Okay, well, same. Hand in foreign object. Yeah, we'll go with brass knucks. Now that's going to be a pin attempt. We'll give him 9 points in a pin attempt. Another rope tripper. Well, they were all rope trippers. Let's be serious now. That was kind of a manager 101. Yeah, let's go with leg. Everyone else has ankle. What else? Trying to think back more along the lines of the AWA when he was with Bockwinkel. Got the brass knucks, distract the referee. Need something for him to get disqualified. Hit foe with chair. That'll get you disqualified if the referee sees it. And the referee's going to see it. You roll between a 2 and a 7. There's a pretty good chance you're getting disqualified. So we can put down distract opponent. Because as you can see, you wouldn't be able to write a whole sentence out there. You would think with this you could, but it's kind of following suit with the card game. That you've got a limit to how much space, otherwise it'll start bleeding in and it'll cut pieces off. So it's distract opponent, and then you can kind of draw your own from there. And we'll make that another point. We'll give him 6 on that one. Well, we'll go with powder. I want to save salt for Fuji. I got to still make a Mr. Fuji card. Oh, I got one. Hold on. Remember when he would take the cup of whatever was on the broadcast table? Let's say Monsoon had a cup of soda or something, and he would take that and throw it in the guy's face. All right, we have a DQ already there. We got a pin taped already there. So what we'll do is, while the guy is blind for 2 rounds, he's going to be on defense. All right, good job. And then how often he'll be used depends. We're going to go 8 to 12. Make it 7. So I do want Bobby involved. Good call. Thank you. All right, accomplishments. Throw them at me. Heenan's accomplishments, aside from, let's see. He had, well, Andre wasn't the world champion, really. He had it for a hot minute. He had Nick Bockwinkel. There you go. Bobby the Brain Heenan. And just like that, what time are we looking at? We're going to do a real quick match just so we can throw these guys in there a little bit. Slowly it loads. There we go. Just a shade under an hour. Okay, let's go with Andre. This is going to be a mess because we're going to... Come on. Go with the deluxe edition. Over here. And then he'll go up against Valentine, I think. We'll put him over here. And over here we're going to have Jimmy Hart. Over here we're going to have Bobby the Brain. Time limit, I don't think will be an issue once you got two managers involved. Some shit's going to go down. And strategy pin chart. That should be showing up below. I don't remember seeing it last time. Action underway, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Greg the Hammer Valentine comes up with that aerial knee smash, and the Giant is stunned. Oh, he goes right away to the headbutt, which has the XX, and that means should be some Jimmy Hart action. Or, I'm sorry, Bobby the Brain. Heenan distracts his opponent. Andre gets... Oh, man. So Andre only gets 6 points instead of his 8 that he would have had. Usually you combine the points. All right, well, then I'm going to have to go back later on and change all those to make them more respectable because they're wiping out these. Normally you combined it with the roll of the die, so it would have been like 14. But now I know. Valentine and Andre both on... Oh, look at the Boston Crab. He's going to try for a submission. Problem with that is Andre only has a 2 for submission. You have to roll a 2, otherwise he ain't tapping. Everyone's on offense, and again, the Valentine relying on that aerial knee smash. Andre with a giant power slam, and the hammer goes down. This is going to be a brawl. Figure 4 leg lock. Valentine drops the hammer. And it's another giant power slam. Thus far, we have not seen Jimmy Hart involved in this match. Now the Boston Crab. Ooh. I always hold my breath and see if he rolls it too. Andre's on offense. Valentine is not. Not a big gain there for Andre, though. Only 4 points. Valentine is down again. Another friggin' 4-point round for Andre. But he's ahead overall, just barely. Another submission attempt. Sounds like Valentine's taking a dump. All right, this is what I was looking for. Here we go. So if you go for a pin attempt now, 27%, you might get it, which isn't bad. That's reasonable. You might not get it and still pick up 5 points. 13% of that. So really we're now at 40 points, 40% likeliness of having something good happen. Add another 16% chance that we'll get no points. So that doesn't hurt us. But then you start to go 25, you got 30, 40, almost 40% possibility that you'll either lose 7 points, 10 points, or get reversed. Oh, wait, a referee monitor. Hold on a minute. The referee modifier is a +1, which means we got fast count Frank in the ring. I'm going for it. Roll those dice. 2 count. Oh. Everyone's on defense. Man, Andre likes to twist that arm, man. He's rolling nothing but 6s. Uh-oh, here comes the big squash, which, by the way, for Andre, it's always a pin attempt. All 6 pin attempts. Goes for the cover. 2, 3. Oh, no! Valentine kicks out. You are shitting me. Let's take a quick look at one thing. Yep, fast count Frank up here at the top. You should always look first to see what referee you got. So he's going to add 1 to your pin attempts. And that's your pin attempts on your dice. So if you need to roll an 8 and you rolled a 7, he's going to give you the point. So now you've got your 8. Got offenses all the way around. Pile driver on the big man. Going to the ropes. Well, what just happened there? Hold on a minute. Bobby the Brain Heenan executed a distraction on his opponent. And Andre picks up 6 points. I've really got to fix the manager's numbers now that I know that. So Bobby the Brain Heenan getting involved. Still haven't seen anything out of Jimmy Hart, though, I don't think. Reversal by Valentine. 16 minutes into the match. Figure 4 leg lock on the big man. How he got those legs, I don't have any clue, but not enough to make him tap out. Valentine attempting a pin. Oh, no. Jimmy the Mouth of the South whacked Andre with a megaphone. Oh, that would have been a hell of a way to lose. Andre's got him in the bear hug. Valentine in trouble. But he's another one, man. He only subs on a 2 or a 3, so good luck. Aerial knee smash is neutralized by Andre the Giant. Kick to the face, the big boot. Goes for the cover. And he gets the win. We'll say it was PA for the house show. Do I not already have? I thought I did, no? And there you have it. So Valentine almost picked up a big win when Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart used the megaphone on him. Whacked him with a megaphone. Oh, my. Children. This is why we can't have nice things anymore. Alrighty then. Yeah, I'll be putting a Heenan family together for sure. All right, guys. Well, like I said, it is literally 1 minute to Better Call Saul's. I got to get over there and see what's happening with my man and how they're going to write him out this season. And this season being, now we're going to know exactly what happens to Saul Goodman at the end of Breaking Bad, really. So I'm anxious to see how that turns out. Looking forward to it very much. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm having a blast with this game again. And the fact that this is more entertaining to me right now than 2K says something, doesn't it? It's much more manageable, too. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Saul Goodman for president. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. From ringside, Vince McSham saying so long, everyone, and good night.